Hello, beautiful moms and entrepreneurs. My name is Charisse Walker, and I'm your host of the Unbreakable Mompreneurs podcast. This is a place where we come together to learn, grow, and inspire. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Hello, Unbreakable Mompreneurs. So the whole purpose of this podcast is to talk about business and being an entrepreneur. And sometimes my goal is to reach some of those women who are also mothers and say, you know what, I feel like I want to start a business. And I don't know how, I don't know what to do. Well, today is your day because Tanya Kobzar is our guest, and she is going to talk about that. She coaches on startups. She's doing her own startup as we speak. She's a mom, and you know what? She has so many other things that she does as well. So without further ado, Tanya, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, Sherry. Thank you for having me. Sure, with pleasure. So as you mentioned, I am wearing shoes of both startup builder, startup founder, and the company who is helping to build software products for the startups. So my first company, Diversido, we are working 13 years already and helping startups with their software. And like last year, I decided that the time has come for me to try to build my own startup as well. It's named QRange, and we are building a health tech solution that would help people to choose the right supplements for them among all the different options that are available on the market that would work best for their needs, for their goals, and also we will build like those supplements intake tracker, because choose the right supplements is one thing, and another is to be consistent with taking everything at the right time, together with like meals or before sleep, after sleep, and all other things people often lost, myself including. So that's that's a product that I am building for myself at the first place. Yeah, so I hope we will launch early next year.
Nice.
Fingers crossed. And also, I am a big fan and a big enthusiast of gamification, behavioral design, behavioral science, and glad to apply it to everywhere it's possible. Habits tracking, engagement software, anything.
So let's talk about the behavioral science part of things, because I was listening to something today. There's this challenge that I started with some guys that we're doing capital raising for the real estate stuff that we do. And the coach on there, he talked about how there's like 4 squares, right? You have to believe, you have to take action, like when you have to continue to do it. And if you don't take action, then you start to disbelieve, and then you're not confident in yourself. And then it's just like this vicious cycle of negativity, whereas if you can turn it back around. And so what do you find very common with these startups that you help when it comes to the behavioral side of things, that they start to hit a wall of self-doubt? What are some of the challenges you see business or entrepreneurs make?
So from like if we make some statistics from my experience for this years, is not about the motivation, but rather about the preparation and strategic planning. So most of majority of the challenges of startup face, that they are focusing, especially first time founders, they're focusing too much on building the software, on making it perfect, polishing everything, make it like the dream one, but they do not think enough on the user acquisition, on the steps that they're going to do after the software is ready, and that is like a huge part of the successful business strategy. And I think that requires budget much more than for the building, and that's why I think that talking about startups, what I see, but if we maybe broaden this for any goals that we have, is that we need to plan them right? And that's like recently I was speaking on some event about exact thing that we can achieve anything, but the problem is that we want it right now, everything right now, and the idea of postponing something, like, so okay, I'm not going to have it now, but I'm going to have it like in 1 year. It feels like, oh no, it feels like I'm failing in it. But if you are building your planning your life, both like work life, your personal life, in like a bigger periods, so like, okay, you can achieve a lot in 3 years, but you cannot achieve everything that takes 3 years in 1 month. So that's why it's planning and dividing the bigger task into the smaller steps, and moving slowly towards your goal. That's the thing.
Baby bites, right? And you have to make sure that we like break into bites so that you don't get overwhelmed. Like if you look at the big steak, it's too much to eat, but if you take it a bite at a time, then it does work. And I like that. That is good. And it's the milestones. If you feel like you accomplished something, okay. Like if you say I'm going to lose 40 pounds, well, that's overwhelming. But if you're going to lose 5, okay, I can handle that, right? Maybe. So
That's true. And also it's very important if you need to do something that you are not particularly enjoying at the moment, it is always possible to find the reason why you are doing it. I mean that all the people, we do only things that we want to do. Even if like it feels like we don't like the activity, there is still something behind it that makes us do it. So, and if we focus on the positive part of it, so for example, you are doing some part of your job that you are not enjoying, but if you are doing it, then it brings something to you. For example, you are like, some people work on their like day job that they not love, but when you're thinking that, okay, but it's covering my cost of living and letting me focus on something that I like, and give me this space and give me this time, so that like shifts the positive, or from the positive point of view. So that's also, I think, pretty important.
no, I totally agree with that. Yes, it's easy to get negative, especially when you're feeling down on yourself. But no, that's true. Okay, so what is something that you've learned starting up a business that the advice that you could give somebody else that you wish you would have known when you started out?
There are several things because like when I started, I was quite young when I started my own company, and I was a developer. So I have a technical background. I have a computer science degree. I worked as a developer. I worked as a project manager, product manager. So, but all of that was in the part like on the delivery department. And when I started my own business, I realized that business is much more complicated thing than just being able to make a good software. And you need to understand at least like basic rules how it works. So that's why I would recommend to think about marketing from the very beginning of your journey. So even if it's like again, baby bites, so something small, work on your personal brand, I don't know, post in social media, post the process of your people are very interested in like how it's made, or some personal stories as well. So just don't give up. And even if you're not having huge impressions or something, little steps, and you will be there. So build this, invest in this brand awareness, because it stacks up, and eventually there will be more people who know you, and it will not require you that much time. And again, the same as with the startups, with the business, you need to understand where you're going to get your first clients, and probably have some strategy how you plan to acquire your second and third ones. And also the network is very important. So the best clients came from my personal network. The best clients came by recommendations. So that's also very important to work on the what else? Oh, very important that I learned learned later than I wanted to is I recommend to focus on the recurrent revenue. So build your business on the model of like monthly payments, even if it's a little ones. So $100 every month is better than like, a couple of thousand once in a while, unpredictable, because the recurring revenue is your business. All the rest is bonus, but it's not. And also another thing that I would I would recommend, a lot of recommendations, is even if you are not building the business with the idea of selling it, eventually maybe that's something you love, maybe it's something you want to to leave for your kids. Anyway, you keep it in mind that it's good idea to be able to sell it in any moment. So keep your records, make sure they look good, because you never know. And anyway, when you are thinking from this lens, from this perspective, you're becoming much better organized and much more results focused, some profit oriented, rather than just we are building a company that is family. That's a bit different story. So anyway, business is business, and you need to approach it correspondingly.
I love that. That is such good advice, and it's so true. And the best time to start is now, because you got to let people know who you are, and so get the word out. Absolutely. Okay, the last question I have for you is, as a mother, your kids are still a little young. I'm so jealous because it's such fun stages. But what is something that you've learned as a mother that you're like, okay, juggling a business and a motherhood, what is some advice that you would give moms?
Get some help. Yeah, so yeah, so not trying to do everything alone is hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes, especially with kids, especially when they're little, it's difficult to trust care of them to somebody, or like try. And I know a lot of moms who don't even let other people to, I don't know, clean their apartments, because either they are not used to it, or they are like don't trust other people to do it. But you always need to prioritize. So just focus on the important things, and and get help on the other ones. But also what I must say, that entrepreneurship, it gives us freedom. So sometimes we feel that, okay, so the business is like absorbing us and we don't have enough time to spend with our kids. But in reality, we do have this time, because the entrepreneurship, it gives you freedom. It gives you freedom of choice when to work, even if you're like, working when they're sleeping, but you still have this choice, and you can work it out.
I like that.
Yeah. And so, and kids, they actually help us to focus, to be more efficient. So they're our teachers as well in life.
Such good advice. Well, Tanya, if our listeners wanted to find you because they're thinking, I do need help with some software or some of the stuff that you're building now, how would they find you?
The best way is either write me in LinkedIn, so I'm answering all the messages there, or contact me through our website, diversito.io. I think that's the two best ways.
Well, thank you so much. You have such good advice, and I just love your even keel. You kind of remind me of me when I'm not stressed out, but I think that you have good advice, that you're grounded, and that you're here to help people, and I can see that. And so thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me.
And Unbreakable Moms, if you are thinking, I do need some help with my business or starting up, and I'm not quite sure what to do, then reach out. Tanya would love to be able to help you. And I want you to go out and make it a great day. Beautiful moms, remember, you are unbreakable. Keep illuminating the world with your strength, pursuing your dreams, and reveling in the splendor of motherhood. This is Charisse Walker, bidding you farewell for now. Stay tuned for more empowering conversations on the next episode of the Unbreakable Mompreneurs podcast. Until then, keep shining bright. Signing off with love, Charisse Walker.